Hello, my dear friends. My family, my kids, like especially the electronic diaspora, the young people, because that's my main target. So today, I got a new theme, which is Adulis. That's Eritrean history. The other topic is slavery. And just to touch a bit on that. But my main point is Adulis. What's Adulis? Okay. Ever since we were kids, we read about this. We were told from oral history, both from our parents, the place where we grew up, during the Ethiopian dog regime, and we thought a lot of things, and we read a lot of books, and we live it. And so, what's Adulis? So when we say Adulis, it's a place near Zula, maybe 5 kilometers from there. So um, according to the Periples Erythraeum, it's a guy, it's a Greco-Roman resident, citizen um, um, of that nation, and he was Alexandrian from Egypt. So he did a tour, he did an expedition, business trip, all the coastal areas, starting from Alexandria downwards all the way to the coast of Eritrea, Adulis, to Somalia, all the way to that area, Indian Ocean, to Mozambique, all the way to Cape of Good Hope, which is South Africa now, and to West Africa. So his main target was just to explore the trading process, what they got around that area. Mainly it was slaves and ivory, and they had spices as well. People. So he went to Ceylon, India. Ceylon was the name for India in the past. So we got that record. I think I did post on my Facebook link. So he was saying at least was a bustling city, which is fine, and we can assume because, especially from many records, Adulis being on the seaside coastal area of Eritrea was bustling city. Mainly, obviously, the trading commodities that time were slaves, obviously, and ivory, spices, things. So we can assume, all the slaves like Tajura, Somalia, of course, in Sudan, all the area, Mozambique, everything. They were slaving process. But let's say they were not slaving area. Then later on, we had Christianity, which is the head of the church headquarter was in Constantinople because that was the main capital city of the Rome Empire, the most powerful entity, the most powerful nation. So we became Christians. Obviously, we got that Christian influence from there. So let's say, Christianity brought all the justice, stopped slavery, and declared equality of all human beings. And let's say that was a really beautiful city, bustling city. Let's say just maybe 4 by 4 square kilometers and really bustling coastal area, which is along the coastal route of Eritrea to all the Indian Ocean, to India, China, up north to Mediterranean, to Arabia, Saudi Arabia, all the way to Eilat in Israel, to Egypt, to Sudan, obviously, to Africa, and to Iran on the eastern side. So let's say it was beautiful city, bustling city, exchanging commodities, all the wine, olives, and grains, everything. So obviously, we were supposed to get all these rich people coming from Constantinople, from Rome, with their women, with their exchanges of goods, everything, and having a life of a lavish lifestyle there, So we were supposed to dig that area, 4 by 4 square kilometers space within the Adulis area, and find a lot of relics, obviously. People exchanges, cultures, ceramics, everything, So just one I can explore. Let me just add a bit of a humor. Let's suppose, we got all this Greek or Roman rich woman coming to that area, finding the climate, the weather really heavenly compared to to the European Mediterranean cold fridge area, and they say, "Oh, Arcada, Eureka!" Kind of like, they enjoy it, So they have all their blonde hair, enjoying the, having a bare body, enjoying the weather with the sea. That's how the Greek Romans are, All this hedonism, they love love, they love life, and we can assume that they had that kind of lifestyle there. But obviously, we can assume, isn't it? It doesn't hurt assuming. If it was the case that we had really good trade exchanges with Greek Romans on equal basis after Christianity came, or just Julius Caesar, Augustus, declaring these Christian nations having good rapprochement, good exchange of trades, diplomacy, everything, government, people to people, tourism, everything. Let's assume that was the case. And we would have found a whole that kind of really interesting figures, interesting things to find out. We had really good working relationship with all these nations. But accordingly, especially nowadays, there is a lot of thing that our eyes are fixated only on that basilica thing that is, this ruined building in Adulis, nothing else, just only that. You can compare it with the Asmara Cathedrale church in Asmara now, after the Italians came and they built that church. It's a similar thing, obviously. It's just, this is really not fair, because when you talk having Adulis means all the way from Adulis, from Zula to my village, to around Adria, called Brenet, to Kwaito. So because all these rich people, the high class of the Adulis residents that time, Adulis, Zula, all that kind of areas, they were coming to my area to live there, because that area, Adulis, Masawa, Zula, is really hot, So what they do is, during summer, they come to the highland of my area, to Adria, to Kwaito. These areas were densely populated with forests, really amazing place to live in, sea breeze, the best climate, the best weather, and you have all these animals Arcada, obviously, farming communities, green area, trees, everything, all these animals, tigers, lions, monkeys, everything, elephants. So obviously that's what Adulis means. It's not just like this little spot in around Zula. So just to give it a good a bit of context. So that's Adulis, and we had all this slavery people, obviously part of Tigray and Eritrea. We were trading a lot after the Aksumites came to us, and there was one instance where the Aksumite kingdom, with the Habesha people, Eritrea and Tigray area, and part of Gondar, obviously the Semin, they call it Semin Ethiopia. So there was a war between in Judah, I think, in Saudi Arabia, between the Aksumite kingdom and Saudi Arabia. That were the Arabs, and the general, I think, the leader of that war was called Omar. So that's why you have all this Umrah. This Umrah came after that, and Arabic slavery as well. So the slavery was not just only the Greek Romans. You have the Arabs as well. So we had all that fighting. Anyway, all these people like Bilal, for example, is really famous in Islam. Bilal was a guy, a boy captive after I think the Ethiopians, the Abyssinians, obviously they should be Aksumites, lost the war. So his mom was a princess, so they were taken as slaves, as a slave hostage, as a war prisoner. Then he became an Arab citizen, and you have all that Bilal name, big name there. So that's the historical perspective, the historical narrative of what Adulis means, how we had all the wars of having our independence, being ourselves, We are really very ancient people, very confident people. We got our own script, our goods, everything, like these Chinese, like these Indians in other nations, like the Latin, really super power people, our way of thinking, our writing system, you don't find that kind of things being done in Africa or in other nations. This is how much civilized people we are. So all these years, we fought really hard not to be slaves. Like, we are really confident people. So that's what adulis means. Adulis, it's not just like little word you can just take from that area and say, that's adulis. No, my friend, that's not the basilica. Adulis means all our identity, especially all this area around Adria, all these Akaloguzai people, all the way from Zula, Haito, Rubahadas, Barenet, Aret, all the way to Adria, Sanafe. That's Adulis, my friend. Adulis is just like a harbor, a seaside to exchange goods to other nations, global nations, sea. But the main area, it is the area, all these Kwahaito, Rubahadas, all the way Aret, Bahenet, all the Auhene, Honda, all these Kwahaito areas, all the way to Sanafe, everything. So that's what Adulis means. So that's what Adulis means, obviously, because I don't like the way people narrate about Adulis, and sometimes they try to challenge our intelligence, just to, it's a gravity kind of pull, but so that people can focus their ideas on that, But Adulis is a really big thing. It's our identity. It's the way we think. So who is Adulis? Where is Adulis? And who are Adulites? My friend, we are Adulites, These are for guys now, 2024. So this is who Adulites are. We live all the way. We live all over the world, in London, in America, New York, Washington, other European countries, in France, Germany, Scandinavian countries, Sweden, Switzerland, all that. So we mastered the Adulites language. That's our language, obviously. And we mastered English, which is Latin. Latin, English came out of Latin. So the Adulites of the past were people who were speaking, who were mastering the Latin language, because their main trading partners were the Europeans who were speaking Latin, obviously, as you can expect, Greco-Roman people. So this is what Adulites are. Now we are in Europe, my friend. We are Adulites. We speak the European Latin language, which is English. And if you are in Sweden, your version. If you are in Germany, if you are in Italy, or Italian. So we are Adulites, my friend. We are working remotely. So we are the governors, obviously. Depends which village you came from, Adulite area, from that area. So we are the Adulites, my friend. We just don't have that weird picture of what these Adulites, how are they, that kind of thing. My friend, we are Adulites. So we don't have to master the English language, the culture of the Europeans, the way they think, the way they live, their professionalism, the master of the language, how they communicate with the rest of the world, all that marine trade, adventure, everything. So that's what Adulis means. So we are Adulites, my friend. Okay? Thank you very much. Have a lovely day.